Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, where Florida beaches are one flight away. Featuring nonstop service on Allegiant Airlines to Tampa, St. Pete, and Orlando Sanford from Bloomington. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
The head coach of Bloomington's new pro hockey team says fans will notice the difference in the caliber of play at this higher-level league. It's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Friday, August 23rd. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with Bloomington Normal educators' thoughts on cell phones in the classroom. WGLT's Eric Stock reports that leaders for the two Twin City districts have differing views on how much to allow them.
Unit 5 is exploring a cell phone ban in schools. Superintendent Kristen Weichel says the district wants input from students, staff, and families. She says some teachers are fine with the phones in the classroom, others no. Weichel says a uniform policy has its advantages.
Some teachers might be a little more lax and say, yes, if you finish your work early, you can have it out. Well, that makes it harder than maybe for the next teacher who says, no, it needs to be put away the entire class period.
District 87 Superintendent David Mauser concedes the disruption phones can cause in the classroom, but he says simply banning the devices is not the answer.
To me, this is a societal issue, and I don't think schools can do it alone. I think that we need to have deeper conversations about, what cell phones bring to the table, but more importantly, really what social media can do to students and to kids and adolescents as they come through.
Mauser says he prefers the district teach appropriate cell phone use and model good behavior for students. Bloomington Junior High School students are required to keep their phones in their lockers during the school day. With reporting from Adeline Schultz, I'm Eric Stock.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. New data from the state show that the Bloomington Normal area's economy added around 700 jobs in the past year. The local jobless rate as of July is 5.5%. That's up just over a point from this time last year. United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain returned to Belvidere, Illinois to meet with members after Stellantis announced it will delay its timeline to reopen the assembly plant there. And people incarcerated at a crumbling state prison outside Joliet are beginning to get moved out. That follows a judge's order earlier this month. Governor J.B. Pritzker is planning to tear down Stateville and build a new prison in its place. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. Bloomington has had pro hockey before. It did not enjoy sustained success. But the city's new hockey franchise is different. The Bloomington Bison are part of the ECHL. That's a higher level than the teams that have skated here before. And the team has affiliations with NHL franchises, the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Philip Barsky is the team's first head coach and general manager. And in this interview with WGLT's Eric Stock, Barsky says fans will notice the difference.
I think fans can really expect a very high caliber of hockey. I think the athletes that will be here in Bloomington are exceptional hockey players. A lot of them have been drafted to the National Hockey League. There's going to be players here that are on two-way and one-way American League deals, which is one level below the National Hockey League. And I do think that the ECHL is a very undervalued league. People don't realize how good the hockey is or how good the play is until they experience it, whether that's as a player or as a fan.
How likely is it that players coming through Bloomington will end up in the NHL in the next year or two?
I don't know about the next year or two. I would say more so probably 3 to 4 years out. I think when you look at that and you want to answer that question honestly, I think you have to look in net first. I think the goalies that are here in Bloomington are the closest to the National Hockey League, just because the way our league works is, so you have your two goalies in the National Hockey League, you got your two goalies in the American Hockey League, and then your fifth starter in your organization is the starter in the ECHL. So from that standpoint, they're the closest to the National Hockey League, and this league is filled with goaltenders that have made their way to the National Hockey League. Then when you take a look from a player standpoint, again, there are a ton of hockey players that have played in this league that have gone on to have very good National Hockey League careers.
Now, Bloomington has had hockey in the past, starting with the Prairie Thunder. It did well at first, but the newness sort of wore off, attendance had dropped, and the franchise never found the stability that they had hoped. How will this be different?
when I was in Greenville in the same league in the ECHL, I kind of got the same questions. You know, there was previous ownerships in that city with actually in the same league, and they really weren't able to get it work. I think if you look at any organization, whether that's in the hockey world or the business world, you always look at the top. And if you look at our leader, Jim Hallett, he's been a very successful hockey franchise owner. When you look at what he's done with the Indy Fuel, they're one of the top teams in our league. And I have no doubts that with the personnel that he's put together, with our CEO Larry and our CFO Jeff, and all the people subsequently that they've brought into this organization, it's a no-brainer. This organization is going to be here for many years to come. It's going to be a place where fans can really come and enjoy the hockey, and not only enjoy the hockey. When I talk to our management group, they're putting a lot of emphasis on the entertainment value and the community building, and those are the things that are going to separate us from the other organizations that have been here before.
Yeah, a lot of fans who go to sporting events here, unless it's for their school, are most interested in simply having a good time, making sure that the kids had a good time. They may not care that the team won or lost. They may not even know if the team won or lost. So how much is this team prepared to lean into the actual game experience for the fans?
It's everything at this level. It's why the ECHL has been able to expand the teams at the rate that they've been able to do. It's a very family-friendly environment. I've sat in on numerous Zoom calls with our commissioner, Ryan Creelan. He always talks about that family atmosphere. And, they're always doing, different types of promotions to bring the community together, to build those bonds where the fan base can really come together as a group and sort of have the same interest and cheer for for their team, for their hometown team.
That was Philip Barsky, head coach and general manager for the Bloomington Bison, speaking with WGLT's Eric Stock. You can read or listen to the rest of their conversation at WGLT.org. The season opener is October 19th. Before we let you go, the Sweet Corn Circus takes over Uptown Normal this weekend. The free festival runs from 10 a.m. to 5 tomorrow and 11 a.m. to 4 on Sunday. And that's it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. The show's produced by Rosalie Truback. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.